said either the most attractive person in the crowd or John. I get to stand here with them both, so it's a very proud day for me. Yeah. My name is JW, and I'm the Tennessee Director for Appalachian Voices. I'm here to talk about the Scenic Vistas Protection Act, and I want to thank both the members who are in attendance here today for your past work with that legislation, and we look forward to continuing to work with you on those bills. I want to thank the audience for practicing your democratic rights and engaging in the democratic process and being here. And I want to thank the staff of TEC for organizing this event. It's a lot of hard work, and we appreciate you guys. And you guys are great leaders for us here on the Hill. I'm here today because I love mountains. And I grew up in a log cabin that my dad built in the woods on the banks of the Tennessee River. Like many of you, I got to know Tennessee by walking through the woods and the waters of this state with my family, fishing, hiking, four-wheeling, learning about freedom and responsibility and self-reliance. Those trips were how I learned how to connect with my family, how we learned the best of our state, and how we learned about the best of our country. As I got older, I learned that not too far away that coal companies were bringing down the mountains near our home and poisoning the streams that we ran through as children. Now, I've got a little girl who will be 2 years old this month, and when I was her age, there were 500 mountains in Appalachia that are no longer standing. Since then, 2,000 miles of streams have been buried by coal waste that's full of toxic heavy metals and chemicals, and more than 125 square miles of the Cumberland Plateau have been changed irrevocably. That's why I'm here today, to ask everyone to join the efforts to pass the Scenic Vistas Protection Act that will protect our virgin ridgelines here in Tennessee. We don't have to hate coal, and we don't have to hate mining. One of my favorite writers says that in every small town and every major city in America, there should be a monument to the American coal miner who for centuries helped fire the Industrial Revolution, put a man on the moon, and build the most prosperous and big economy that the world has ever seen. For centuries, from Freighterville to the Upper Big Branch, miners have given us their tears, toil, and their lives so that we can flip a switch and see. Mountain people have never asked for much in return, and silly us, we've gotten exactly what we've asked for. Now our miners are being laid off, and the very mountains that define who we are being brought down. These are mountains where leaders were inspired, from Johnson, Jackson, and Polk, who went on to lead America, to Dolly Parton, Elvis Presley, Dwayne Allman, Chet Atkins, who put these mountains into song and took them around the world. These mountains inspired the defense of some of our great military leaders, from Alvin York and Sam Carter to the man who coined the phrase, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead," Mr. David Farragut. And the mountains that inspired these great Tennesseans are now being filled with ammonium nitrate fuel oil and blasted apart. This leaves us in Appalachian communities with fewer jobs, poisoned water, and little chance of economic development. We've lost 85% of our mining jobs since 1985, and studies have shown that the state pays a $3 million subsidy to the coal industry every year, and that's an impact that will affect every Tennessee taxpayer. Not to mention that we know that this type of mining has made people sick, and we know that people who live in these communities have a life expectancy that's 10 years less than someone who's born in Davidson County. And you think that if another country was doing this to us, that we'd probably be at war. There are 21 peer-reviewed health studies that show that the people in Appalachian communities that are surrounded by mountaintop removal have an increased incidence of heart disease, lung disease, cancer, and birth defects. And I'm not a scientist, and you don't have to be a scientist to know that water runs downhill. And if they're putting coal waste into the streams in eastern Kentucky or on the Cumberland Plateau and the river's running orange, something ain't right. And finally, I believe that we strongly need to protect and respect the private property rights of the people in the state. When the Scenic Vistas bill passes, coal companies will still be able to mine coal without taking the tops off mountains. But they should know that the hearts and the lungs of the Appalachian people do not belong to a coal company. Mountain people believe that you can swing your fist however you like within an inch of our face, but any further, and that's a problem. And when unborn children in Appalachian communities are 42% more likely to be born with birth defects, you've got a problem. When 60 miles of our streams in Tennessee have been impacted by coal mining, you've got a problem. And it's not until our elected officials stand up and lead that we'll have a solution. If you love mountains as I do, I hope you'll join this effort to pass the Scenic Vistas legislation that protects virgin ridgelines and a mountain way of life. Thank you guys very much.